All right, so let's put those cuts into an application now. We're gonna do Pico de Gallo, who's a simple fresh salsa. So I'm gonna start with the tomato and dice it. If I don't go all the way through it, I can use the stem to hold the tomato together and I turn it around. And here we go. We're gonna finish this here. So diced tomatoes, and we're gonna put a little bit of pepper. Dice again, so I got some green, I'm gonna put a bit yellow. So if you can see here, I'm doing like kind of a bâtonnet and then turn them and get dice out of it. So I like to use a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow to get some color in there. Now onions, I like to use the red onions, much better for eating raw. Here to dice the onions again, dice onions. I'm just gonna go all the way, almost all the way to the end of the onions, but once again, like with the tomatoes, I'm not cutting completely through, so it all the onions together. Then I turn it around, slice it about twice this way, and then down, and we got really easy diced onions. So next I'm gonna put just a clove of garlic. So if you just crush it a little bit with a knife, here we go. And then I'm gonna use the curve of the knife to mince it. So don't forget, the finer you go, the more flavor you get with the garlic. Now let's put a little heat with a jalapeno. So we're gonna julienne that jalapeno. So usually I take the seed off and white part off and then julienne. Remember, about 1 egg. Once again, you see how my knife, I use the whole knife here and the curve of the knife to cut. And then we're gonna do a brunoise right here. I'll finish with a bit of cilantro. Chopping. Kind of gather it together. You can see how fine it's basically almost like a chiffonade right now. So you put as much as you want. I like my pico with a lot of cilantro. I just love cilantro in there. So once again, with chopping the cilantro, use the same way I was using for the garlic. Here we go. And now juice of a lime. So I'm gonna kind of roll and press to break the fiber in there in the lime so I can extract a bit more juice. Now if you don't have a juicer, just take a fork and then bring in there and just turn around and you're gonna get almost all the juice. It's gonna be as good as if you're having a juicer. Sometimes you don't need all those fancy tools. Here we go, we're gonna add some salt. That's gonna start marinating. You wanna do that salsa, a pico de gallo, a little bit in advance so you got time to marinate. I would say like about an hour. This is really flavorful. It works very well actually on chicken, on fish, of course on tacos, and just like this. There we go, pico de gallo.
All right, what's the perfect thing for Chef's Pico is we're gonna do some crispy flour tortilla with a different kind of seasoning on it. We're just gonna dump them in the fryer here. Typically, you heard the whole adage, once it floats, it's ready. That doesn't really work with your flour tortillas or any kind of tortillas. They're gonna float right up to the top anyway. You can kind of see we're getting them nice and crispy here. And again, we talk about cooking with your senses. So this is a perfect example of it. You're gonna smell them when they get ready. You're gonna see it. You want a nice golden brown, and you're gonna feel it. So flour tortillas in our mixing bowl right here. We're gonna add a little bit of chili powder to it, a little bit of cumin, and just a little touch brown sugar. Again, you wanna do this right after they come out of the fryer or whatever, oven, whatever you decide to do it, because they're hot and it'll absorb the spice a lot better. Then a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and we're just gonna toss them around. You can kind of see it kind of coats it all, and it's great with the salsa.
Store spices away from heat, humidity, and light. If you don't smell the spice when open it, then it is too old and won't bring any flavor to the dish.